Jeremy Clarkson is familiar with urban myths, but H has assured readers the idea that his road tests have been anything other than scrupulously fair is false. The subject came up when the Clarkson's farm star was listening to American podcaster Joe Rogan's interview with ex-Top Gear star Chris Harris. He initially described it as a riveting listen, but his mood quickly changed when he heard what Chris had to say. He took to his column in The Sun to fiercely deny the suggestions that had been made. Talk turned to the story that I wrote a road test of the first ever Tesla before I'd driven it, and that the breakdown we showed on television was fabricated, he exclaimed. There are lots of made-up stories about what happened when I hosted Top Gear, and in the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter, but it does wind me up something rotten when Joe and Chris perpetuate the myth that my Tesla road test was unfair, Jeremy vented. I know no one believes me. On Top Gear, we cocked about and upset a lot of people over the years, but our road tests were always scrupulously fair. Jeremy also addressed some of the allegations that have affected other celebrities too, recalling the time when a rumor spread that The Who's Keith Moon had driven a Rolls-Royce into a swimming pool. Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones was once rumored to have mistakenly snorted his father's ashes. However, the diddly-squat farm owner, who recently opened his own pub in a nearby corner of the Cotswolds, corrected that all the wild accusations are not even remotely accurate, even if they make for good storytelling. Meanwhile, Jeremy recently traveled to Zimbabwe to shoot the final scenes for the Grand Tour, marking the last time that he and co-stars Richard Hammond and James May will ever drive together. The trio had a 22-year partnership and were well received on shows like Top Gear 2, but now it's time for them to begin a new chapter. Richard was in tears at the end of their adventures, but Jeremy admitted he sees himself as too old and fat to race around much in supercars now, and is feeling fortunate to be able to spend less time in Heathrow Airport and more time at home on the farm.